Hey everyone, Ulandos here, and welcome back to another video on the channel. So today we'll be having a look at the difference between the Beluga Morph, Neomorph, Babyhead, Ultramorph, and Proto Morph. So I have become so triggered that I have made this video to distinguish the difference between these guys. So many comments and mainstream news articles have completely fucked up when showing off these creatures with their photos and names. Essentially, we have a lot of people calling all of these things by the wrong names or by putting their names in an article and then showing a picture of another one of these creatures to describe what said creature they are talking about, thus making the entire article basically a comedy to the people who are up to date with all of the alien lore and behind the scenes. So, let's get started. First, we're going to start off with the Ultramorph. Now, the Ultramorph was a creature created from a facehugger impregnating an engineer in the original Prometheus script called Alien Engineers. The Ultramorph is not the adult form of the Deacon from Prometheus. A lot of people seem to think that for some reason. For all intents and purposes, this creature only exists in concept art and the original Prometheus script. Next up, we have the Beluga Morph. The Beluga Morph was a creature that was cut from Prometheus early in its production. Once again, this was a concept idea from the original Prometheus script, Alien Engineers. The Beluga Morph is not an adult Deacon either. In Alien Engineers, it was more of a natural form of the classic Xenomorph, but this has been changed in Alien Covenant with the introduction of the Proto Morph. So the Ultramorph's host, which is the Engineer, mixed with the Beluga Morph's general appearance, encouraged the final design for the Deacon. And the Deacon is the actual creature from the end of Prometheus that pops out of the Engineer. Next up, we have the Babyhead. Now, the Babyhead was another concept art that was planned to be the final form of a human infected by the chemical A0-3959X.91. The Babyhead's concept art has so frequently been mixed up with the Beluga Morph and the Neomorph articles on news sites and informative videos. Also, something to note in these pictures, sometimes the Babyhead was referred to as the Beluga Head in the text. They eventually changed this to avoid confusion between the Babyhead and the Beluga Morph. Essentially, the word beluga comes from the whale called the beluga whale, and they based some of the appearance of the Beluga Morph and the Babyhead off of the beluga whale. Next up, we have the Neomorph. The Neomorph is going to be a new type of creature in the upcoming movie Alien Covenant. A lot of people get the Beluga Morph and the Neomorph mixed up, but they are very different. The Neomorph has a long tail and quills all down its back and is spread by spores, whereas the Beluga Morph lacks a tail and only has some fleshy spikes on its back. There is no facehugger involved when it comes to the Neomorph. None at all. Last but not least, we have the Proto Morph. The Proto Morph is an actual direct ancestor to the classic Xenomorph, but it lacks the biomechanical parts. Apparently, the engineers further modified this creature to create the classic Xenomorph you see in all of the Alien movies. Which also reminds me of the point that I should make regarding Covenant. There won't be any classic Xenomorphs in it. The crew in Covenant are going to the Engineer homeworld where it all began, so it would make sense that they would encounter the Protomorph on the homeworld as it is native to the planet. So hopefully all of this information helps you distinguish the differences between all of these different creatures. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video and listening to it, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.